Hey guys, what's going on? Can you tell how far we made it in here? We're down to what, chapter 12. All right. 12 is three. It's going to be representing an intervention. And if you haven't understood right now, this whole story has been inside. It's been this idea of he's been out in the field eating only flowers, and that's all he's been doing. Okay, so that means he's still in this meditation phase. That's what that three at the end or whatever has been in the past. It just shows it's like a continuation. It's almost just like I was saying, a dot dot dot. And I write like this because it's like a train of thought. You have to understand that all these things are thoughts. Everything is about being in thoughts. So, what I would like to remind you about is this three-headed eagle. Is that how you're supposed to represent this in the rest of the stories of the Bible is that in the end, let's just take Revelations for example, and it's always divided. The body is divided into thirds, and the best way to even see this is through this crucifixion of Christ. And if you knew that it was you that were going through this process, that it's you and the two witnesses. And the two witnesses are the right side of the mind and its emotional attachment to what would be considered the whore, the bitch, or the church. The word. That's what it's representing. Those are the guys that get their where they get scattered, and the bottoms or their legs have been broken, so that they can then be mended and changed. That's what the whole part of the clay and how brittle iron is, I guess. But it's what supports us, and it's our spiritual beliefs. And so these are the three. It's always these three. It's always those three. So that's how those heads are. The heads those three heads are all asleep. Right, and there's three heads, so it'd be like, and the one in the middle is the biggest one, the largest of them all. And so you'll see that as these stories are going on, like right now, all these things are disappearing. At the end of the story, we get this story of the head on the right, chomp chomp chomp, chomping everybody out, and as it happens, then even the right one disappears. Well, this is where enter in chapter 12. 12 represents a three, which is the intervention. And so what is it doing? It's describing, or it goes on to tell, this is God, or this angel telling him the meaning of what his vision was when it came down to it. And remember, I already did it. I've done it with you. All right. The only thing is he was saying, like the 12 get their chance to raise and all this business, But when it comes down to it, it's going along the process of this of what happens to you inside, and which is what this Ezra is about. He's being taught the secrets of the kingdom of God. All right. And he's being weeded out amongst all these people to do this. He's a scribe. Okay. And what we're going to do is at the end of this particular story, and then in the next chapter, because I've already read the whole book now, and so I do know what's coming up. And it's very interesting. So, but we're going to handle all of these one at a time. But this one we can go through pretty quickly. All right. So, you have to understand that, let's look at this as like a dream sequence, okay? And so right now he has met Mother, right? He's done all this business. He's died before the bridegroom. That's the body dying. It's already done all of this. And so now it's about time. We got to get to seal this off. We have the introduction of the lion. When the lion comes up, he's rebuking this. He says, "No more after you will this happen. It's mine now." And this Judah, this lion, is rebuking the old Jew, And as this happens, vanishes, it disappears. These are the first four worlds in this particular part of the story. And remember, you know, that four goes through every four scriptures, every four, you know, things are going to be in another world. And each one of those, as they go down, is going to represent 1, 2, 3, and 4 and what they mean as well. That's how you find this out. That's how we tore this baby apart. But, you know, when it comes down to this one here, is when it gets down to the fourth one, something happens. Now he wakes up, you know, but only whenever the third. Now, remember, the sacrifice comes here. This is our skin. This was what gets burnt. And so in this situation, this is representing the skin, or when there was no feathers, in the story, that's whenever he went down into meditation and lost his garments. So he's had no, remember that? That's somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, naked and 3 sleeping heads. All right, that's what that means, because now you've got your lost garments, and the mind has been asleep, right? That's what that means, right? Over on this side, that body now is torched and burnt, and this is the sacrifice. And this is what we're always been asked or been alluded to in these other stories of the Bible, especially in the beginning when we're talking about when will we be able to give our sacrifices? When will we be able to start doing that again? How long is it we going to be not able to do that? You know, because remember, God puts us on this track. He puts us on to onto the whore. He does this. We're never without God, no matter what side you fall on. You're never without God. I'm going to say that, you know, but you know, electrically, spiritually speaking, until we get mother going on, till we wake up that side, then no, we have not honored God's commandments. But he did this to us on purpose. All right. So here, before we go any further with this, just remember the 3 is always this. Best explained by the beasts. You know, you have the first beast that came out of the water. That's whenever you're just like in this vision from Ezra. This bird came out of the sea, and sea is meditation, because when we're in this watery world, this environment is that this is it's while we are in meditation, it's about water, you know, and being cleansed, and it's the truth and all this stuff, but it's an inside thing. Okay, so the second beast is its emotional side. This idea is this would be what we would consider was heaven, even if we were following the beast, you know, or this whore. This is what we would consider, but this whore is being birthed out of the outside in our mind. And so this is why those are the 2 things. Those are the thieves of this bunch. And then the third guy comes here, the skin, the guy. This is the Lamb of God. This is the sacrifice. He's the one in the middle. You know, the 2 eyes are the thieves. So it's all in 3s. And even when they poured the wrath out, and what does he pour his wrath? What did we find out wrath is? It's love, you know, and it's a pouring out of his spirit. This to bring fire onto the world, onto the earth, is the same way as flooding it with what happens with Noah, or it's just beautiful, but. People have this negative thing to it because they're shallow, and they can't bring their minds a little deeper into things. And God knows this. He's recognized this a long time ago. This is devised by him. We're just discovered, you know, and I'm hoping that you guys catch on. This is some pretty interesting stuff, and it's revealing only one way. It's only this. You can't You can't get too many other stories out of what we find here. So anyways, he's just about to wake up from all of this. And what does he do? He knows that God's going to dwell with him forever, be his comforter forever. That's what you get out of this. Okay, so let's do this really quick. All right. And it came to pass, whilst the lion spake these words unto the eagle, I saw. And remember, Ezra is visualizing this. He's watching this. But it's really happening to him. But watch. And it came to pass, whilst the lion spake these words unto the eagle, and behold, the head that remained, the four wings, appeared no more. And the two little ones set themselves up to reign, and their kingdom was small, full of uproar. And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more either. This is on 3. And the whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear. Then I awakened out of my trouble and trance of my mind, and from great fear, and said to my spirit, Lo, this has done to me. This is done unto me, in that thou searchest out the way of the highest. Lo, though I am weary in my mind and weak in my spirit, the little strength that is in me, for the great fear within I was afflicted this night. So it's what he was going through. Therefore, I will now beseech the highest, that he will comfort me unto the end. This is number 6. Therefore, I will beseech. I will look for the highest, and he will comfort me until the end. And we get 7. And I said, Lord, that bearest rule, if I have found grace before thy sight, and if I am justified with thee before many, and if my prayer indeed be come up from before thy face, comfort me then, and show me thy servant the interpretations and plain differences, this fearful vision, that thou mayest perfectly comfort my soul. Number 9, for thou hast judged me worthy to show me these last times. Okay, now remember, this is about the last time. So they'll go on to talk about, oh, well, it's the 3 that came up and this and that, and it comes all the way down. I've already discussed it with you. They don't say it as much, but let's come down here to number 31, which is a 4. And the lion whom thou sawest rising up from the wood and roaring, speaking unto the eagle and rebuking her for her unrighteousness and all the words which he had heard. Because this is the anointed, which is the highest has kept for them and their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them. That means he will correct you. This is the new one, and that is you. You are this lion that comes out and says, I'm God, taking over, baby. But just remember that all of this is happening inside, because we have just brought the lower side of the lower mind into a higher place, and we brought and taken down the walls that separated us from this higher place, and now they're all one place. That's the point of the whole shebang. La. This dream that thou sawest, the interpretation. So this one here is just telling him what it means. And it still is in some kind of what we call, listen, it says, thou only has been meant to know the secret of the highest. So this is the dream that thou sawest, and these are the interpretations. This is number 35. That's all that's above there. You go read that yourself, but it's really just telling you about the 12 little wings that went contrary those, each one's got a chance to live. This is how this idea, those are the works. You know, each one of those personalities got a chance to live. And then the right arm showing up, and now it gets a chance to raise, and then it disappears. You know how the story went. I've already got it. I'm not going to rerun that. You're going to have to go and look at the last one, because I told the story as it was showed up on here. And this whole thing is a sequence of events as this Ezra is being taken through these different secrets of the Lord, and he's showing him what this means. And so, and remember, he is also a writer, a scribe. And so, therefore, write all these things that thou hast seen in a book, and hide them, and teach them to the wise of the people, whose heart thou knowest may comprehend, and keep these secrets. Pay in mind to what's going on here, you guys. This is what you and I do right now. We're giving away the secrets, okay? I'm going to tell you this, but watch. And teach them to the wise of the people. 8, 9, 10, 11. So this is 2. Number 38 represents 11, and 11 is 2. All right. And teach them to the wise of the people, whose hearts thou knowest may comprehend and keep these secrets. Well, I'm not keeping them. So you don't have to keep them. But wait, thou hear thyself yet 7 days more. Oh, so he's been told to wait here 7 days more, whatsoever it pleases the highest to declare to thee. And with that he went his way. And it came to pass, when all the people saw that the 7 days were past and not come into the city, they gathered them all together from the least unto the greatest, and came unto me and said, what have we offended thee, that the evil we have done against thee, that thou forsakest us, and sittest here in this place? For all of the prophets thou art left to us. You're the only prophet left to us. If we also had been burned, this is the idea. If he's been told, for of all the prophets that are left of us, as a cluster of the vintage, as a candlestick in a dark place, as a haven for ships preserved from the tempest, are not the evils which are to come to us sufficient? If thou shalt forsake us, how much better had it been for us if we had also burned in the midst of Sion? This is number 44. Again, this is that story, like, what is this? It'd been better that we got burned, that we got blown over, that we were destroyed. You're making us go through this hell. What's the difference? What's the difference? Well, because what the difference is that one is taken as a real life thing, and the other one is it's just the washing and the cleaning of the soul. And the outside world makes this place, this God's love as to being awful, and they fear it. They're being walked on by fear. They can't help it. But that's the God making you do this stuff. All right. It says, for we are not better than they that died there. And they wept aloud with a loud voice. And then answered them, I said, now, this story, why did you bring us out into the wilderness only to kill us? We better not stayed where we were. Well, these people that he's talking about are the people that are in there with the myths. How come you did this to us? You know, you brought us out here just to die. But the word die only means to be resurrected at this particular point. And I'm sure that's going to show up in the next chapters. All right. As for me, I have not forsaken ye. It says, we don't want to, so let's not go too far. For me, I've not forsaken thee, neither have I departed from thee. But have come unto this place to pray for the desolation, of Zion. and that I might seek mercy for the lowest state of your sanctuary. He's looking to go to God to find for you and to raise, this idea of your sanctuary. He's doing it for you. And now go your way from every man. And so the people went their way into the city, like I commanded them. And I remained in the field 7 days, as the angel told me to do. And I did eat only in those days the flowers of the field, and had met my herbs and meat of the herbs. So in chapter 12 of this, all we're getting is this: he's still in the fields. Where's I want to look at this, see where I'm at. Here I am. So it talks about hiding this. Now, he hinted on it. He just hinted on it. He told you, well, this, I need to get a haircut. He goes, I wanted you to remember everything. I want you to write everything I said down. I want you to hide it. All right. Now, what we're going to get out of the next group of this, which is going to be 13. 13 is a 4. And he and go with about, I think, 4 other people, if not 5. I'm not sure how it's going to work. I think it's 5, because 5 is representing the brethren. And he is going to be asked to write books for God. He's going to write what he saw. He's going to write down what we do. He's going to hide that part. He's going to say, I'm going to do one part for them. And like he said in this one here, he says, I want one for those people that are wise to understand what they're saying. I want one for them too. So this is the idea of the letter and the spirit. This is being spoke of right here in this chapter. You read this close and you'll find. When we get this one more in, it's going to blow your mind, because it's bringing up this idea that you've got one for the dumb to follow and you've got one for the wise to follow. What side do you think that we are teaching here? Because I don't do no dogma in my place. I've had my legs shattered. I can show you the spiritual side of things. I do not teach the Gospels. I show you what the Gospels are trying to teach us through the spiritual side. And it's being brought about right now in these stories. You understand? Because this Ezra is a scribe. And he's going to be asked, a little foreshadow, in the next chapter, to write everything down. But we're going to give 2 sides to the story. It's going to be right there. Okay? For you guys that are naysayers. Okay? Yeah, so, okay, that's it for the class. I've been getting into a conversation with somebody that I called him out. Do you understand that there's some guy, a prophet out there? I don't know his name. I can't tell you his name yet. So I don't go that far into it. But right off the bat, and it's about an hour or something long video that he's uploaded. He's a prophet. And I started listening to it. And he has all this prophet. Oh, shit. I have to go. All right, well, I got a story to tell you. All right, maybe there'll be more of it later. I'll see you later. I love you.